Okay, welcome to the Covenant Series blog, and we have Amy and Arun Kumar here, and we are going to be interviewing them today on Covenant. I've known Amy since 2000, I guess, right, Amy, when I got saved?
Yeah.
2000. So we've known each other for 20 years. And so I have what I call a handful of ride or die girlfriends, and this is one of them. So this is one of them, and this is her husband. They met through YWAM, but they're going to tell the whole story, and so we'll just get started. So can you tell me first, Amy, you were married before, and I would love to hear, or we would like our audience to hear about Cody.
Okay. So in 2007, I married a guy named Cody from California, and about 2 or 3 weeks into our marriage, he started having, actually he got sick on our honeymoon, and everything just kind of escalated from there. And about 2 or 3 weeks in, we found out that he had metastatic stage 4 testicular cancer.
Yeah.
And I mean, talk about, talk about a whirlwind. I mean, you just get married and you're happy for that. And then you get this devastating news, and it was just such a mix of emotions. And so we had actually moved down to Mexico to be missionaries, and he started treatment there. He started chemotherapy. He had a surgery to have the testicle removed. And when we saw how serious it was, we were thinking, okay, we probably need to move back to the US and go forward with treatment there. And so we moved back up to California, where he was from, and started treatment. And he was in and out of hospitals, multiple surgeries throughout the year. And he actually passed away in September of 2008. And so it was, 11 months and 1 day before our 1-year anniversary that he died. And yeah, that was one of the hardest and most painful seasons I've ever had to walk through, obviously. And it was about 4 years after that, that I met Arun. And yeah. So.
Thank you for sharing that, Amy. So how did you guys meet? How did you two meet?
So, yeah, we met in India, a city called Jaipur.
Mm-hmm.
And I was working with YWAM. And so we have a school under YWAM that's teaching like this kids actually is like they're like kind of untouchable. So our YWAM leader, he started school for those kids. So, and then we need like a teacher, like English teacher. So somehow they got contact. So Amy came to teach English in our school, not to me, to the kids. And yeah, so that's how we met.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Arun was working among Muslims for YWAM at that base, and then I came to teach English in a different ministry in that base. And so we met and we saw each other a couple times a week, but we never, in India, girls should be very reserved and shouldn't, like, you know how Western girls are. We're very open, we're very verbal, we talk, we laugh, we joke, and that's fine. But in India, girls are a lot more reserved. Yeah. And so I tried to be a lot more reserved. And so I would just say, hello, how are you? When he would come to the base to visit. But I thought he was handsome. And actually the thing that attracted me to him the most was that he was working among Muslims. And it was around that time that God really started to develop a heart in me for Muslims. So, yeah, I guess kind of a long story short. So our leaders, who were both from India, were best friends, our best friends. And behind our backs, they were putting us together, but we didn't know that. So we like to say that we had an arranged marriage, but arranged love marriage, because we definitely liked each other. And so, yeah, so that's how we met. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. So how long have you two been married?
8 years.
8
we
years.
Just celebrated 8 years last week on the 31st of March was 8 years.
So awesome. And when did you know, Arun, that you wanted to marry Amy?
Okay, so first of all, actually, I wasn't like before. I wasn't even like thinking about like getting. I wasn't like even have mind like, oh, I have to get married. Like in Indian culture, when you get like a little bit older and everybody start worried about you and more than your family, they are your neighbors, your friends, your church people. They all like start to looking girls for me, like sending sometime picture to me. Some of my even my rickshaw driver who's like auto driver, we used to take him for the ministry. He has a neighbor like she's like studying as a doctor, medical doctor. So he bought her a picture, her like all the like resume, like kind of to me. I said, okay, I will introduce you to somebody else. So I just gave to somebody else. I said, oh, maybe this guy is perfect for her. So because because I wasn't even like thinking. So sometime like because of my leader, they always like, oh, pray, at least pray about that. I say, okay, I will. Sometimes I just used to pray. I say, oh, whatever God's, if whatever like the right time, his right time, like, and so he will bring some girls, like and so he will show me. So then one night, I think my leader just came to visit me in my apartment, and he just told me about Amy. He told me before even Amy arrived. He said, "Oh, there's one girl's coming and like this." So and so he's like indirectly like kind of like, but I didn't even think of that time. And then he told me after I think Amy left, I think, or Amy was there. I don't remember exactly, but he asked me if what I think about Amy. I said I need some time to about that. So I said, oh, can I like take some time, like and pray about that, and just he said, yeah, sure. So I took some time. I like shared with my family, my brother, and like my brother. He is also married with American girl, so he knows he is living here in America, so he know all the culture, like all this, like what
Yes.
to do. So like then, so he yeah, he also like he said okay, like then he also like we used to Skype together, like talk about like everything. So then like and I took some time to pray. Then I shared, and I feel peace about that also. And my family, my brother, even he said, oh, he feel peace about also.
In
So,
India, it's a family affair.
yeah, which is I think
True.
yeah, I think which is good also sometimes. Not like too much interruption, but like it's good other if family also praying for you. And because sometimes we are because when you fall in love, kind of we don't see anything. You're just completely blind. And it's good if you have some family member who praying. They can tell, okay, I don't think this is right, or I think this is right. It's
Yes.
it's a good balance also sometimes, like and yeah. So then I like my leader asked me, then I took some time. Then I went to him. I told him like, okay, yes. So then, but we didn't communicate anything. So we just took some time. And my leader said, just take time, like don't like according to Indian culture also, Indian like what do you call guidelines and all. We have like some don't want to like go. So he said, okay, just take. So then whenever like when that like right time came, then I pursue her. Like then I wrote her when my leader told me.
And how would you say it from your perspective, Amy, on your end?
So actually, I guess a lot of people don't really know this part of our story, but I got really cold feet. We had planned the date, and then I kind of freaked out. Not kind of, I freaked out.
Yes.
And, it was just from having been married before and, through the trauma of that, I thought I was ready, but like when it really came to it, I wasn't sure. And so I got really cold feet, and I actually left India, came back to the US for a little bit, and then I went back to India. And when I went back, I thought I was ready, but then I still wasn't. And it was just this really kind of intense back and forth time. And then one day I was just sitting in the apartment, and I so clearly heard the Lord just let him love you. And I've never forgotten that to this day. And for me, that was like the peace and, the comfort that I needed to move forward.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Love you. That's good. Okay, so what vows did you make on your wedding day?
The tradition vow, when the Christian get married, you know, when you like in your sickness, in your happiness, you know, you will like, you know, stick together, you know, we'll love each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just basically the traditional, you know, the traditional
Yeah.
ones that we use in America.
Yeah. And depend
Okay.
on how much you follow that, you know.
Yeah.
Depend on person and how much you follow those. Wow, you know.
Yeah. That's good. Okay, so what were the hardest years so far in your 8 years of being married?
For me, first year.
Mhm.
Arun has one word. He can sum up the first year in one word. Do you want to hear it?
Yes.
A four letter only.
Wait, what did you say? The first what?
4 letters.
Oh,
Say it.
You know, HELL.
Oh. No, seriously though. Yeah.
Yeah. That was like,
yeah.
especially because first of all, you know, when you like different people come together, especially like two like completely different people, like I can say like you know how the difference between like day and night and earth and sky is like, this is like western and east, you know, east west culture are.
Yes.
And so it's like I thought I'm ready, like I have like I work so many with westerners, like I used to lead teams, like take them around, like talk to them. My brother kind of like he gave me like kind of like counseling, you can say, like, you know, before even like I say yes for him. Like he always tells me about like Western culture. Because he lived here and he married with girls from here and quite a few years that time. And but still, like I thought, oh, I know so much. I know like kind of like everything. But like I was down when you live together, then it's like then you will know, like, you know, really.
And
So
so, oh,
yeah,
sorry.
recording. Yeah.
Actually, I brought a prop for today to
Oh,
show
yeah.
to show you what our first year of marriage was like. Do you know what this is?
It's a pressure cooker.
Yeah. So every home in India has a pressure cooker. Every single home. I mean,
We also had.
I know these are not. I know these are not common in America, but in India, and I'll show you how it works. So you take the lid off.
Yeah.
And you know, you put whatever you're cooking inside there. Then you put the lid back on it, and you lock it. And then the, you know, the heat, you know, it's the pressure and the heat cooks whatever's inside. So our first year of marriage was like being inside a pressure cooker.
That's a good picture.
Yeah. I think for me personally, like I took a lot of anger into our marriage, which I didn't realize I had. I think there was a lot of ugliness in a lot of ugly sins in my heart that I didn't know were there. Yeah. That just became elevated after we got married. You know, all you need is like, you know, a perfect situation to make all those ugly sins that you don't really know about to come out. Yeah. And, you know, there was a lot of anger and a lot of pride, and a lot of rage. I used to throw things when I would get mad at Arun. I would throw things, and even I was shocking myself, like, who is this person? But I think, you know, you can go to India or any other country on a mission trip for 1 week, 2 weeks, 6 months, whatever, and that's like a honeymoon. But then when you actually get married to someone from that culture, it's like a whole different level. And that's what I was experiencing. I had been going to India for, I don't know, maybe 10, 12 years before I ever met Arun. And I thought I knew a thing or two about India, but I really didn't know anything at all. And once we got married, then I really started to get to know the real India. Like, okay, this is what life in India is really like. And we used to fight over the pettiest things. And it used to just anger me. Like everything would anger me, like the smallest thing. I would wash dishes and put them in the drainer, and then he would come and rearrange them and say, this is how we do it here. Yeah. And I would get offended and say, well, what's wrong with the way that I do it? And then it would just become this explosive argument, and we would just fight. I mean, the whole year we fought a lot. And yeah, a lot of fighting that first year. I mean, honestly, I can say it's God's grace that we're sitting here right now that we just celebrated 8 years of marriage. You know, it's really totally God's grace and just walking in forgiveness with each other. So yeah, the first year was definitely the hardest. Yeah.
Well, while you're talking about this, I'd like to ask, what advice would you even give to couples, or what could you say would be some good advice in a cross-cultural marriage? Because obviously God brought you guys together. He has a plan, had a plan, and has a plan and a purpose with you guys. So what advice would you give?
I think one thing, forgiveness should be there, and forgiving each other, not just one side. I think it goes with the both sides, not just one person like always forgiving. Other person has to be
Yeah.
do the same thing, and also like good communication also.
Yeah.
Like this two thing, I think the main key for like marriage. I can say my 8 years like experience.
Yeah. I would add a third thing to that, and I would say die to yourself.
Yeah.
Because when we get married, and you know, marriage in general is hard. You know, I'm not going to try to minimize how difficult marriage in general is, but then also when you marry someone from a completely different culture than your own, there's a lot of different dynamics that you wouldn't necessarily deal with if you married someone from your own culture.
Right.
So I think for me, like, I just feel like you know, all this flesh has just been burning for the last 8 years.
Yes.
And it's hard.
Yeah.
I mean, we really have to die to ourselves and die to our flesh and know that, you know, iron sharpens iron, and whatever this marriage is doing, or whatever, you know, this is, you know, it's burning off good, and God's going to make something beautiful from that. So I agree with Arun. Forgive, forgive, forgive. I cannot emphasize forgiveness enough, because that's really the key. I mean, if we're able to walk in forgiveness with each other, then.
Oh yeah. Also one more. Yeah. Also grace.
Yeah.
You have to give each other grace, because both are different, and both are different personality. Both are like different culture. Like both have come from different family. Also effect, because which family you come from also.
Yeah.
Also like effect, you know. And so I think grace also like one of the main key also for like, you know, for couple, like, you know, they have to give each other so much grace, you know. And we are not God or Jesus, but we still learn, because we expect, like, you know, from God and from, you know, say, oh, we need grace, but we have to give grace too, you know.
Yes. Yeah. Totally. So what were some of the best years that you guys have had?
Best year. There've been like I can say a few years. Best year, and then I can say like 19. I think like 1920 is the best one, I can say.
1920.
29. Sorry, 2019 and 2020.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just I'm saying 1920.
Oh.
Like,
yeah. 2019, 2020. Yeah. Yeah, the last year, I don't know. I feel like something kind of shifted after the 7th year. And the last year has just been good. I think also we have separately grown closer with the Lord, and it just automatically makes us grow closer with each other. You know, when we're pursuing Him and spending time with Him, and, you know, getting oil in our lamp with Him and growing in our relationship with Him, then it just automatically makes things better here. So,
I think that's interesting, because I've heard about the 7-year itch, or people saying that most marriages break up after 7 years, and that you just said that, like, that this year, the 8th year, it must be a turning point during that time. But that's so beautiful, and you guys pressing into the Lord together. Okay, so did you ever want to quit, or was divorce ever an option for you guys?
Yeah, I think first year I want to quit, actually. You know, when I feel, you know, I think it's like God's grace also, like, plus, yeah, if I wasn't Christian, if I wasn't following Jesus Christ, you know, I think Jesus is the only, like, the one who, like, kept it together and gave us, like, so much grace for each other also. So I think there's a, like, a main, like, I can say all glory to Jesus. He's the one only. Like if nobody follow him, they should follow him if they wanna like long, strong marriage.
Yeah, many times in our first year, he would say, if I wasn't a Christian, I would send you home right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Yeah.
Christian means like not just like Christian means like going Sunday school or grow up in the church.
Yeah.
Christian family, not that kind of Christian. If you're really Christian, if you're really following Christ,
Yeah.
whatever the cost. So because that's why you need like Jesus so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, divorce was never an option. We never considered divorce. Separation, yes.
Yeah.
And yes, there were times when I wanted to quit. 2018 was a hard year for me just personally. I was having a lot of health issues, and I was just withdrawn in so many ways from everyone and everything. And I was just kind of in myself. And I was seeing a counselor. She's an amazing, godly woman in Hendersonville. And she really helped me see Arun in a light that I hadn't seen him before, because he had done something for me. And I got really upset because it didn't turn out the way that I wanted it to. And she asked me a question. She said, "Do you think your husband's heart is ill towards you?" And I said, "No, I know his heart for me is good. I know he loves me." And she was like, then why did you get upset over this? Like, if you know his heart towards you is good, can't you look past that and see his heart? And that, I mean, it's such a simple thing, but that really impacted me. And Arun actually came to counseling with me a couple times with her, and we were able to work through some things. And yeah, ever since I was able to talk with her, like the Lord has really like shifted things, and things have been good after that. So of course we still have, hard days and hard times, and there will be hard seasons in the future. We're not, we know, that there will be hard things, but yeah, I feel like we know each other in such a different way now. So yeah.
All right. So what wisdom would you give to single people?
For single people, like I think there's a time for everything, and sometimes don't get like so anxious. Oh, I have to get married, this and that. But there's a time for everything, but don't wait. Sometimes it's good to pray, but pray with eyes open, because sometimes God will bring girls and guys in front of your eyes, but if your eyes is closed, you cannot see them. So you have to pray with eyes open. So and really like I think it's good to like get a little bit mature before you like jump into this, because maturity like help there, and don't wait so long.
That's the Indian speaking. Don't wait so long.
Yeah, because then you won't enjoy your marriage. You have to enjoy your marriage. Like,
that's true.
Just like enjoy means like I can say that in a way like especially like when you have a kid, then you like 70 years old, you have a 5 years old kid. Not that long.
Abraham and Isaac. I like that story.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I would say pursue Jesus. I mean, 100% wholeheartedly pursue Jesus. And if it's his will, for you to get married, then it will happen. But pursue him. That's first and foremost the most important thing.
Yeah, for I think even like people who don't know Jesus Christ, they also should like learn like in different like they should put their feet in other shoes, okay, because sometimes when you put your own shoes like feels comfortable, you put your like feet in different shoes like uncomfortable, they're not your size and all, so you have to like learn that way also. If you're willing to do that, then you just go get married, otherwise don't marry, unless you don't have grace for each other, or you don't want to die to yourself. You have to get ready for that. Just like I think I suggest
you have to get ready for this.
Yes.
I think you should make like even like want to make lists, just make a list. Okay, who I am, like okay, I'm this kind of person. Like if I go like good with other person or not, just think don't just, otherwise you make each other life like I can say like bad. Otherwise, better not to get married
Right.
unless you're ready for that.
Yeah.
So just like pursue Jesus, and Jesus he is like always help. When we give him like a first priority, then otherwise sometimes we just do like too much our own. Okay, get plan this or going here and there. So he's like say, okay, you just taking my place. You have to give him like his place. Like his place is the first, best one. Then we come. So he will like prepare the way also. He prepare like, he will bring girls and guys in your life, in our life, whoever, for single. So it's like, I think he is he is the only key I can say.
I think also for me, marriage has been like, especially the first year, I feel like marriage is like, this is a mirror, and I'm looking at my face in the mirror, and Arun's the mirror, and I'm just seeing like all the all the sin and all the ugliness, and it's like and I really see it as the grace of God. Wow. I mean, I hope we're not making it seem like it's all bad, because it's absolutely 100%.
No, I think this is real.
Yeah, I mean, marriage is amazing, and it's wonderful and it's beautiful, and it's a picture of how Christ loves the church. But at the same time, it can be very difficult. I think any married couple, if they're honest, they will tell you that. So
yeah, sometimes I think because this is also sometimes we only we can tell like best part. Oh, marriage is so good. Yeah, we have so much like good time. We like enjoy, laugh together. We have like. Sometimes we go bed like so late with our son also, like past bedtime. Because we have so much fun, like like do things like differently, like completely differently, do this and that, and play. Even husband wife, we play together sometimes, like so. We have so much good time. So we just wanna like sometimes people they don't focus on the like behind the curtain thing,
right.
And so we wanna focus on that, like so maybe helpful for others. So, but we have like very good time, like. As a husband and wife, and as a friends, and as a father and mother for our son. So we enjoy so much our marriage actually. I was thinking, oh, it's good to get married, because otherwise you have someone like to be like share everything, because you cannot share everything to your family. You means like your parents and like something you cannot even share with your friend, but wife and husband can share each other. Like deep feelings. So I think you need like someone. We need someone like to share. Yeah, Jesus is always there to hear, but we need like someone physical. So
yeah, that's really good. Okay, so what wisdom would you give to young married couples?
I think the same thing: grace, die to yourself, forgiveness. Yeah.
I cannot stress the importance of forgiving each other enough. There have been many times where, Arun would do something or I would do something to him, and I knew I needed to forgive him, but flesh was burning, and I was just like boiling inside, and I didn't want to say I'm sorry. Many times, and I would even go to bed and wake up with it in the morning, and but I mean, I think that's just a hard thing that we all have to walk through. But I just cannot stress forgiveness enough, because when you say I forgive you and the other person also says I forgive you, it just breaks something. It doesn't make everything all right. It doesn't mean that whatever the event was didn't happen, or whatever the words were spoken that they didn't happen. But I don't know. Forgiveness just,
Also, like when we ask somebody like, "Oh, I'm sorry," other person should say like, "I forgive you." Even our son, we teach him also whenever something. Sometimes we like get mad, so we say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I was mad that time." He says, "Oh, I forgive you, Papa," or I forgive you, Mommy. So it should be there, because we need to hear like we are forgiven.
Yes.
Like so we need to hear that. So that's our like most important thing.
Yeah, I think that's important too. I learned that in YWAM. Did you learn that in YWAM too?
Yes.
Yeah, to actually respond. Yeah, so important.
Yeah, totally.
Actually, I didn't learn in this YWAM, but I just learned what do you call while we married actually.
You're like, I learned it in the school of
101.
Yeah. practical school.
What wisdom would you two give to American couples on covenant marriage? So that could be first for non-believers, like on covenant marriage, and also believers in Jesus.
I think even like I think for American couple, even this goes with the both side, like a commitment. And we know we are very different because in America we grow up, people grow up here like so independent. Okay, this is my thing, you cannot touch. But they need to learn like should be like the grace here and should be like okay, oh, I'm husband and why so two different things, you're together, like do things together, like try to like learn, because sometimes it's hard to start with a small thing. Okay, you have a joint account, we spend same money from same account, like we can have like two cards but the same one account. It's not like I have a different account, she has different accounts, she keep account for her account, I do. You see, this is family. Why we family? Family means together. We like kind of like has to learn like things to share. Family means share, because husband wife, God created us. He didn't create okay 50% 50. He said 100%. So we are like 100%. So why we have like this like 50% partnership? We have 100% partnership. So whatever her is mine, what is mine is her. Like it's all together. And even my son, we teaching him the way, like okay, this is your toy, but you can share also. We have to share. So I think good to learn sharing, and then we get I think get a little less stress also. Sometimes it's good to have accounts, good make, but start like sharing things like together. Yeah, I think she might have something else because as an American.
I think I don't know, because East and West are so different. And like Arun said, in India, they tend to, they grow up in communities, so they're very family oriented.
Right.
And in the West, yeah, maybe some people here love their families and they're close, but we still grow up with that independent spirit. Like, it's mine, that's mine, And I'm speaking for myself. I can't like give a blanket statement for all Americans, but like, I think I have a really weak view of commitment before I met Arun. Because I don't like hard things, and I tend to run from anything that's hard and doesn't feel good, and that's potentially painful. So if I think we give up too easily, in America. So yeah, I would just say,
don't give up.
Yeah, don't give up. Like, fight.
Because this is what the enemy wants actually. This is the like main thing he's doing, especially in America, like breaking the marriages. And because we are making him happy also. Oh, look what I did, Sometimes like over this cup, oh, you drink my water. Okay, I will fill it up, we can share, but you can like start like fighting between this, and enemy will like get so happy with that, So that's why this is the grace also, okay, sipping water, okay, I will get it more water, or she can refill this up, so lots of there's like commitment. We even like secular or Christian marriage, any covenant commitment should be there. We are because we say, oh, we commit each other when we like marrying, like when you put the ring on, so we are committing each other, like we are exchanging ring. Okay, all mine is yours, all yours is mine. Like kind of like, so we are all, so means we are same.
Yes.
What's the difference? So like never give up. Hard things will come. Just try to like maybe seem like both. If we are like India, we have one saying in Hindi, say one person like naram, other person is garam. That is like garam is something very hot. Just get something cooler here. So cool and hot mixed together, they get warm, no? So it's like warm feel good, So it's like it's good because you see like something is going like, oh, one is very angry. Okay, just cool down. And then you get chance to like speak. Okay, when everything's cool down, okay, why was you like this, So like just give like each other grace and like
I think self-control is also huge because I remember many times we would be arguing and I would want to talk right now.
Yeah.
And Arun would absolutely refuse. And that would make me madder. He would say, no, I don't want to talk to you. I'm not talking right now. And I would say, let's talk about this before we go to bed. And I don't want to go to bed angry. And he was like, I'll talk to you tomorrow. And he would absolutely refuse because he knew it could make things worse. And I would get so angry with him. But I didn't understand the wisdom in that. You know, there's a time to walk away and cool off and, you know, wait until there's the right time. Like Arun said, there's a time for everything. Like wait until the time is right. So self-control is huge also.
Yeah, also like sometimes I have like people say don't go bed angry. You have to solve before that. I think it's better just you make a before you make a worse, just wait. Like sometimes just wait a little bit and let's see like things get down. You can see difference actually.
Yeah.
Some like when you like arguing angry or wanna talk right away and you will say it's get more worse sometimes, you know. Sometimes maybe work okay, but like just wait, get cool off everything. Okay, let's talk. Like, you know, then you can use like even if you're Christian, you just pray first, talk. If you're not, you just talk, you know. Like
That's really good.
Yeah.
I love the way you described it, like 2 bank accounts, we just have one, because it's the very beginning of how God described covenant, that the 2 become one. And that you described it in a way of a bank account. And I love the parallel with how God views covenant. It's like, yeah, both of you decided at one point 8 years ago to become one. And so for you, it was like, of course we share everything, you know? And so I love that. Yeah. And then also, Amy, your desire to just get low and just humble yourself to how Arun needed to process. You know, probably you're an external processor, maybe more, and he's an internal, but how you were willing to meet him there and be like, okay, he needs time.
Yeah, I had to learn that though.
Wow. Yeah.
It took me probably several years to learn that actually. Yeah.
That's good. Okay, so anything else you want to say on covenant?
On covenant.
On covenant. Like, you know, I think as a Bible talker, like I have in my mind in Hindi, like, you know, because I have studied my Bible in Hindi so much. I have to like translate. So like, you know, God said like, what like God has like joined together, no one can separate that, you know.
Yes.
This is and for that you need like so much commitment, so much like strong boundaries to each other. So if you don't, and you have to like love each other like unconditionally, like agape love, because sometimes we just say, oh, I will love because my wife make nice food for me, you know. It's not like if she don't make food, you should love, you know, still love, you know, you just make food for her.
Something funny. The other day for lunch, I made Cuban food for lunch, and I said, "Do you like it?" And he's like, "Yeah, it's so good." But then after lunch, he was Googling Indian recipes. I don't think he even thought anything about that, but I was like, "Oh, that's funny."
No, yeah, you know, it was like because this is like covenant, God, you know, when we get married, when we like, you know, we have like vow to each other, and pastor our witness, pastor, like, you know, and we repeat behind him, and so it's not just a pastor. There's like God about that. So he's there also, you know. Our witness, we don't realize that, but he's there because so we have to like open for that, like we are allowing, like okay. So we have a covenant. So this is like God created this covenant. Like okay, when you come, you will come together. You 100% partner. You know, we see a partner in crime. You know, like so we are 100%. You know, 100%. Like just there's no 50% actually in a husband wife partner. We say, oh, she's my half, she's other half. But I think not just other half. She's my full. I can say, and I'm her full. So we full. You know, that's why we get like completely full. You know, you don't like otherwise like half, you know, doesn't make sense to me. You know, it has to be like 100%, you know. And when you marry, you should be 100% for her, and she should be 100% for me, like, you know. So like we have to be like give 100%, not just like 70, 80 is hard, but it comes, you know, it's take time a little bit. So don't give up, like, you know, anybody listening or gonna listen, please don't give up. give some time to each other.
And pray. Yeah,
Yes.
don't underestimate the power of prayer
Oh, yeah.
and what God can do.
And ask, like, involve some like people in your life, like some maybe like older couple, like who has
Yes.
lots of wisdom, you know, Christian wise couple. Like, okay, if something happens, just call them and like write them. Okay, give us some wisdom. Sometimes, you know, when we like angry, we don't see any wisdom there. We don't think. Just write them. Just take some time and just say, okay, can you just call us and meet us? You know,
Yeah.
if it happens. So it's good to like allow someone to speak, like a Christian person, like, you know, who can speak in your life, like, because they will be like praying for you, like, you know, oh, can you pray for this, you know, this is happened, can you pray for it? Like, there's someone, because sometimes you don't want to pray because when you're angry, oh, I don't want to pray, like, you know. So it's good someone is praying for you. Just write them, okay, can you pray for me right now?
Yeah.
Because I'm not in this situation to pray or something, you know?
Yeah, I agree with what Arun is saying. It's important also to have, you know, other godly people around you to pray for you. When you can't pray for yourself, or when you don't want to pray for yourself, you don't want to pray for your marriage. You know, Mark and Kathy Lucas, you know, some friends of ours, they were instrumental in our lives. You know, in 2017, we met with them regularly and they prayed for us, and another couple prayed for us. And I can't say enough about the importance of that, because in those moments where you cannot see clearly and you want to give up, you need, you know, other people praying for you and encouraging you and, you know, standing with you. So that's huge. That's extremely important.
Yeah. I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, don't get advice from a single person actually for your marriage life, you know, because they don't have any like so much. They can pray for you. So it's not like, I'm not saying they cannot pray. They can pray. It's good to have friends, but I'm saying, like, you know, it's good to meet some like couple who's being married, has lots of wisdom in the marriage, you know, like, you know, so they can speak in your life, and they will give you so much wisdom.
Yeah. And for us, it was, you know, like I said, it was Mark and Kathy Lucas, and they were married for, I think, 27 years, if I'm not mistaken. You know, and for us, that really helped because, you know, they had been doing this a lot longer than we had.
Yeah.
And they had walked through really hard seasons too, and were able to counsel us, you know, and give us wisdom. And so I think it's really important for couples who are newly married, or, you know, maybe 5-10 years in, find someone who's been married for 40-50 years.
Yeah.
Who can, you know, pour into you and help you, because they have so much wisdom and they've walked through, you know, really hard things, and they're able to, you know, to counsel you out of that wisdom. So I think that's huge. Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, so the last question is, what is life like now as a married couple?
It's kind of funny now because sometimes we finish each other's sentences, or sometimes he will say something and I was like, oh, I was just thinking that. Or, you know, for example, we decided this year that we wanted to celebrate Passover. Yeah. And we've done that before in our marriage. And so I had the thought, but I didn't say anything to Arun. And then a couple days later, he came to me and he said, hey, I was thinking to celebrate Passover this year. I was like, good. So, you know, little things like that definitely weren't there, you know, in the beginning. So, yeah.
What was the question?
How is married life now?
As a married couple? Yeah.
Yeah, I think now is like so much better. That's why I was like giving people like advice. Okay, don't give up. You know, just give some time. When, like, you know, slowly. Sometimes things happen. We like, you know, we are very fast. We like fast foods. You know. So microwave life we have, you know, so we want everything fast, like 2 minutes done, you know, lunch 2 minutes done, you know, we don't want to spend some time. So but I will like suggest, like, you know, okay, just take some time, just let, like, you know, just use like oven instead of microwave, you know, let this bake slowly, or pressure cooker.
Don't use pressure cooker. Use a slow cooker instead.
Yeah, so, like, you know, just like take some time, like, so right now, like, you know, as a marriage, we are like in the place, we understand each other well because we've been through all this, and we like see each other, we give each other grace, so we know, and so we have a grace for each other. So now, like, more than before, you know, like, and we are committed to each other, like whatever sickness, whatever, you know, it doesn't matter. Like, okay, you do. It's not like, you know, never like do like this. Sometimes we say, oh, okay, when we get married, okay, I will make breakfast, you will make lunch, you will wash dishes, like, just forget this, help each other, like, just whoever see, oh, I feel good, like, just, oh, I am working all day long, I'm so tired, I cannot do, like, so somebody else is doing, like, so,
Yeah.
like, let's just help. It's not like, this is called agape love, when you just, without like expecting like something, oh, I made the lunch, so she will make like dinner,
Yeah.
But it's like, it's not gonna harm you if you make dinner. She will gonna be happy more, so just, just like, I think this is also like, just grace, we still like, I think that this is really like great, and just help each other,
Yeah.
we willing to help others people outside our house.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is like double standard we live. If you like, we helping somebody outside because we wanna show up, and
Right.
coming home, like, wife is serving us, like, oh, she need to give you coffee, she need to make food, watch kids, homeschool, just help, whenever you get chance. I know you work, husband work, but still, just give chance, when, if you can, just help.
Yeah. I think for me, one thing just that has taken me a while to learn also is just Arun's heart and like his love. And I feel like the Lord has really shown me his love through Arun.
Yeah.
And it took me a long time to see that. And there were many times when Arun was trying to love me and I kept pushing him away.
Yeah.
And I would get so angry with him. Like, why are you so nice to me? Like, why are you doing this? Why are you bringing me chai or bringing me coffee? Or why did you make me breakfast? And I would get so angry. And, it went back to what the Lord said to me in the beginning was just let him love you. And I feel like the Lord has really humbled me, beyond belief sometimes through Arun. And I always tell Arun, he exemplifies Jesus in everything that he does.
Wow.
The way he loves his family, the way he takes care of our son, the way he conducts himself, just in every way he exemplifies Jesus. And in the beginning, that was hard for me to see, to see that. But now, 8 years later, I see it and I'm like, wow, like I'm glad, God saw what I couldn't see, and yeah, so there have been times when Arun has, I've had a lot of health issues, and there have been many times when Arun has literally like had to nurse me and love me back to health. And, there were times when I couldn't even take a bath and Arun would have to help me, and he would wash my hair and then blow dry it after I got out of the bathtub and then help me put my clothes on. And, so it's like, God is just really, just really humbled me through Arun. And it's been so beautiful just to see his steadfast love, really. Yeah.
That's incredible. And that's one of the things that sticks out to me with you, Amy, is that when you told me that about Arun loving you like Jesus. And that's exactly what he's called to do. And that you joyfully do, Arun, is incredible. So. Well, thank you guys for doing this video and for your example and being willing to share your story with whoever watches this. I know you're going to encourage young couples. You're going to encourage single people, people that have been married a long time, newlyweds. And you showed the raw side of marriage, and you also showed the joy of marriage. And I think what I saw in both of you is that Jesus created the covenant, and so you're glorifying him with your marriage. That's what I think. So yeah, thank you guys for joining, and I'm going to turn.
Thank you. Thank you.